One of my most popular workshops is my time management workshop. And one lesson I've learned after hosting this workshop so many times is that how we look at procrastination is doing us a disservice. When procrastination comes up in these workshops, it's often labeled as the bad guy. My clients and participants bring it up as if there's something wrong with them. But if you stay in that mindset, if you try to fix procrastination or find the next tool or hack to help you push through procrastination, you will miss a valuable and life-changing piece of information that would have helped you create a more enjoyable, better life that is true for you. So today I invite you to take a different perspective, and I have 5 questions you can immediately ask yourself so you can feel confident and productive with how you spend your time. Plus, I save a bonus question at the end that is based off my favorite definition of procrastination. If you're excited to hear these 5 questions, let me know by liking this video, and that also helps these new, fresh perspectives of positive psychology and coaching reach more people just like you who are grateful for the material. I'll be honest, even I have felt confused about why myself, a decision coach with a background in positive psychology, hosts regular time management workshops. And every time I've taken a step back to check if that is in alignment with my business goals, with my skill sets, with how I can best serve my clients, the connection becomes very clear. Time, just like any resource in our life, is such a great representation to see if our life decisions are indeed aligned with what we value, what we desire, and what we want from our lives. When we look at something like our schedule from this perspective, it becomes a practice ground, a petri dish, to see if our reality is representing what we know cognitively is what we value. Just like money and financial alignment, which I talk about in a different video, how we spend and receive our resources says a lot about what's going on in our inner world. And because our inner world can sometimes feel abstract and a little out of reach, looking at these external examples and representations of our inner world is a great way and potentially a quicker, more logical way, especially for those of you who really value these tangible representations, to figure out what's in alignment, what's out of alignment, and if there's any tweaking to be made. So when you look at your time, when you look at how much you are procrastinating or how you're feeling about that procrastination, you will either see awareness, self-trust, and obvious alignment with your values and goals, or representations of limiting beliefs and old, outdated storylines that keep you stuck in unhelpful patterns. Show me how you spend your time, and I'll show you how you're thinking about yourself. And what I often hear clients either explicitly or implicitly think about themselves is a need or desire for assurance. I want to make sure that I'm spending my time right. This easily slips into should territory. I should go for a walk. I should make a home-cooked meal for dinner tonight. I should really organize that overflowing closet in the corner. And then when they don't do those things, aka when they procrastinate with those tasks, I hear those same individuals ask how to better manage their time, which assumes this is a time management issue. Again, why my time management workshop is one of my most popular. But most often, I've found this isn't a time management issue. Shoulds almost always imply there's some sort of misalignment here. With my coaching clients, I use the word gremlin. If we hear a should statement, quite potentially the should statement is coming from the gremlin voice. This may mean that the thing you are shoulding yourself about, the thing you keep procrastinating, is out of alignment with your goals, with your desires, with the best version of yourself that leads to your greatest fulfillment. However, that is not always the case. Otherwise, we could simply ignore or write off any should statements that we have. Alternatively, the misalignment may not have to do with the task, but the perspective or the motivation behind the task. And that's why I'm about to share with you not one question, but 5 different questions for you to ask yourself the next time you notice you are procrastinating, or the next time you notice those should statements are extra loud in your mind. In asking these questions, you will heighten your self-awareness of what is out of alignment and what is in alignment, so you can stop feeling controlled and weighed down by these shoulds and start feeling confident and productive with how you choose to spend your time throughout the day. All right, let's get into these 5 questions. Question number 1, what's the story here? You feel like you're procrastinating, you feel like you should be doing this thing. Unpack that a little bit. Why should you do this thing? And again, this doesn't have to make logical sense. In fact, there's likely some big story under it that may or may not make sense once you articulate it out loud. To unpack that story even more, you can ask, who told you you should do this thing? Maybe an example online, maybe someone explicitly told you you should be doing this. Or what do you assume will happen if you do this thing? What do you assume is on the other side of doing this task? Again, the whole point of this first question is to unpack the story. And you may be surprised to start to uncover the true motivation behind this should, behind the task that you keep procrastinating. Question 2. Do you need to do this? You can also think about this question in a few different ways. So one is taking this just verbatim, as is. Do you need to do this task? It could be that this is actually optional. It could be that you don't need to do this now. You can postpone this maybe even for months or years, or even just a few days or hours. It could be that if you didn't do this task, literally nothing would change. That doesn't necessarily mean you wipe this task off your plate altogether, but we'll find that clarity in question 4. Question 3 is actually the same question, but emphasized a little bit differently. It is, do you need to do this task? So even if you've realized, yes, this task needs to be done, check in and ask, does it need to be done by you? Again, maybe eventually you still end up doing it, even if you don't need to do it, but this is a good check-in and opportunity to broaden your perspective and consider maybe this could be done by someone else. Maybe this could be delegated. Maybe this could be done in partnership with someone. So it's not just you doing this task, and that can change the entire feel behind the activity. Then there's question 4. Do you want to do this? Now, there are at least 2 different ways to think about wanting. Think about the short term and the long term. So do you want to do this task in the immediate? If you've been procrastinating with this task, my best guess is that your answer will be no. You don't want to do this in the immediate now. However, it could be that you want to do this for some long-term gain. When you check in with yourself, when you ask yourself this question, the answer, thinking in the big picture, is yes. I do want to do this. And maybe that links back to some of your answers from question 1. I want to do this because I assume or I even know that in doing this, I will feel this way on the other side, or this outcome is likely to occur. Or it could be your answer to this question is no, you don't want to do this. And if your answer to question 2, do you need to do this, was also no, now is the time where you can wipe this from your plate, which sometimes is easier said than done. I will also link the Burn Your To-Do List training that I posted on this channel a few weeks ago. That's a really helpful one to go to next if you realize that you don't want to or need to do these tasks that you're procrastinating. However, if you've made it through questions 1 through 4 and there still is that either desire or need to complete the thing that you keep procrastinating, try out question 5. Is there another way? Is there another way to accomplish this goal, the motivation behind this task, or the assumed outcome that this task will bring? Is there another way to do this task? I mentioned earlier bringing on a buddy, or maybe just doing it in a different way, putting on music instead of listening to an audiobook while you clean the house, and that alone shifts it enough that makes it a doable activity. Or maybe question 3, you don't need to do this, and so there's another way by delegating this task and still getting it done. So as a review, these 5 questions regarding procrastination include, what's the story here? Do you need to do this? Do you need to do this? Do you want to do this task? And is there another way? Now for the bonus question I promised, based on my favorite definition of procrastination, which is the avoidance of an emotion. So bonus question 6 is, what emotion are you avoiding? If you find yourself procrastinating on a task, and maybe these questions don't actually illuminate a whole lot, because the story you're telling yourself is that this is a really beneficial thing to do. You need to do this, and you need to do this. Plus, you're actually wanting to do this when you check in with yourself. And there are other ways, but you want to do it this way. If all of those answers come from the first 5 questions, and you're still procrastinating, chances are you're avoiding some sort of emotion. Maybe it's fear that you're gonna fail or get something wrong. Maybe you're avoiding feeling like an outsider if you're about to do something that's a little bit different than those around you, or the expectations you feel are set upon you. Maybe you're avoiding the emotion of hard work Maybe you're avoiding an emotion of sadness or grief that you know will come on the other side of completing this task. Oftentimes, I've experienced this personally, and I walk clients through this all the time. Simply illuminating what emotion is being avoided is enough to get over the hurdle and start to face that emotion and complete the task at hand. Congrats for still being on this video, for watching till the end and learning those 6 questions, 5 questions, plus the bonus one added at the end. Now it's time to ask yourself these questions. You don't even have to ask all of them to start gaining the self-awareness and the insights about why you are procrastinating and what misalignments or alignments are becoming clear when you look at where you are procrastinating. That's why, jokingly, I titled this video, How to Keep Procrastinating, because potentially this isn't something to fix. Maybe this isn't a problem to solve or a time management issue to overcome. Quite possibly, this is simply another avenue for you to gain more awareness about yourself, your goals, your desires, your values, your habits and tendencies. And that's what these questions bring to the surface for you. So you don't just blindly adopt the next time management tool, but actually learn more about yourself and make real progress toward your better life. One piece of this equation that isn't quite covered in these 5 questions is to clarify what you really want. Potentially, these questions bring a lot to the surface regarding what you don't want, what you're resistant to, or you don't need to do. But then we fill that created space with what you want to do. So once you've asked today's questions, I highly recommend you check out this video where I support you to figure out what you really want. And as a reminder, for all of these videos, it's one thing to watch the videos, it's another thing to apply these questions and these practices that I share with you every Tuesday. And then there's the next level. There's implementing this regularly into your life, surrounding yourself with support so you not only have these reflections on your own, but you have encouragement to apply these in actionable ways into your life. Encouragement to persevere and begin again when something goes unexpected. Or when you celebrate that you've leveled up quicker than you ever could have imagined, and now what? What's next? Humans are relational beings. That means you will naturally compare yourself to who you're surrounded by. And you want to make sure you're surrounded by people who are up-leveling their own life, living authentically, and asking themselves these brave questions on a regular basis. Furthermore, because humans are relational beings, this means that accountability from other humans can do wonders for your productivity and goal attainment. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you've heard about my group coaching program, the Yes and Experience. Just implemented last week, and I'm not even sure how long I will keep this online. I have the option for you to try a 14-day free trial. That means when you sign up, you have immediate access to 3 different focuses. That is 3 different month-long challenges to walk you through one area of your life at a time and align that area a little bit more to your values, your goals, and your desires. Furthermore, you get immediate access to our exclusive member-only calls. We have them on Wednesday nights and Friday afternoons, at least at the time of recording this video in April 2022. So you can experience firsthand how incredible this supportive community is. So click the experience link below to start your 14-day free trial, and I sincerely look forward to seeing you on one of our group calls very soon. And that's all for today on YouTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to Yes and by Mara on YouTube by clicking that button below. This gives you access to free weekly trainings every single Tuesday based in positive psychology and coaching practices. I also sincerely always appreciate your comments below, liking this video, and if you want to share this with a friend who may also benefit from a new perspective on procrastination and a little self-reflection on why that procrastination is happening in the first place. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again soon.